Ay, caramba. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. We're back. I've been streaming so much this year that like a 2-day break feels like an eternity. But we are back. Even though I said in my update video on Twitter that I wasn't going to watch the Mavs, I did watch the Mavs. I did watch them. Admittedly, I have to be honest, last night I only watched the first half of the game and I turned it the fuck off. Did not want to watch it. Did not care. Yeah. Didn't want to watch it. Did not care. Had no desire to watch it. Absolute dog shit performance. And really, it's just like, in a way, I'm happy I didn't stream because the Tuesday night game, even though the Mavericks beat the Jazz, I would not have been happy with that game at all. Didn't think they played well. Needed a miracle fourth quarter from Kyrie to win against a horrific Jazz team who, you know, they're still good, don't get me wrong, but no Jordan Clarkson. Like, they're very clearly heading a certain direction, and that direction's not winning. And then you had last night's game against a horrific Pelicans team who has been like one of the worst teams in basketball over the last couple of months. And they also lost their first best player, Zion Williamson's probably going to be out for the rest of the season, it sounds like. And I saw a stat today that Zion has only played in like 28% of games or some crazy shit like that. But also, Brandon Ingram got hurt mid-game and had to leave. So, God, I don't know. I'm just ready for this season to be over. That's really where I'm at. Like, I'm ready for this season to be done. I have had no enjoyment from it at all. Really, you could make the argument that the highest point of the season, like the best point of the season, the point that felt the best, was game 2 of the year. You could actually make the argument that was when like the vibes were the highest, right? They blow their lead against the Suns in game 1, but they were competitive. They should have won it. Right, you're going into the game 2 of the season like, okay, like they should have beat the Suns on the road, and that game was like game 7 of the finals for the Suns because of what happened in the playoffs last year. And then the Mavericks beat the shit out of the Grizzlies by 30 points at home, and it was like that really might have been the high point of the season. I'm actually not kidding. Like, because even in that 6 or 7 game winning streak, whatever it was, you needed miracle Luka performances to win pretty much every single one of those games, and they were all against trash teams. So while the vibes were good then, it wasn't tremendous, you know? Oh, God.
Go to Wix.com and get your site up and running with a tailored.
That in the Clippers game debut with Kyrie. Yeah, that might be it. That little stretch right there after the Kyrie trade where they beat the Jazz with Josh Green and Jaden Hardy going crazy. And then they beat the Clippers and then the Kings. Like, that was probably, all things considered, actually, that was probably maybe the high point. I don't know. But, like, the Knicks game was an amazing performance from Luka. But also, that was a time when we were like, oh, yeah, Trey Murphy fucking annihilated Dwight Powell. That was a time where I was like, oh, my God, we need Luka doing stuff like this to win games. Like, that was like one of the big talking points at that time was like, oh my God, we need Luka literally doing things no player in the history of the sport has done in order to win games. There was Luka getting a T. Thought it was a bad T. But, you know, whatever. This is, hold on. We need to focus on this right here. Let's take a look at this. Because I'm going to talk about Luka here in a bit. I tweeted about Luka last night, and one, I think it got taken out of context severely, but also two, emotions were very high. People were not happy with it. Some criticism of Luka that I had last night, but I do want to point this out, right? Luka's, if we just go to play-by-play stats, the on-off stuff with Luka and Kyrie has been staggering since the trade. Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving. When it's Luka on and Kyrie off, let's just go only games that the players have played so we can see since the trade what it's looked like. The duo on the floor together is good. They're +6. Kyrie without Luka is really good, +10. And then, I mean, these are limited minutes, but Luka without Kyrie is horrible. -23. Like, that's absolutely awful. That's absolutely horrific, right? But I want you guys to look at this, and this is partially why that's the case. Luka has not been Luka as of late. He just hasn't. He's obviously injured. I mean, clearly, now that he's got the thigh thing, he's got to get an MRI. But look at who's on the floor with him right now. This is in the first quarter of the game, by the way. Granted, no Reggie Bullock, no Maxi Kleba, but we're in the first quarter of the game. He is sharing the floor with Luka. Luka is sharing the floor with Josh Green, Justin Holiday, Frank Ntilikina, and Markieff Morris. Like, that is just setting him up for disaster. You know? That's just setting him up for disaster. And I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's what Partha's saying, like, hey, Luka, like, you can drag these guys. These guys are going to have to get minutes tonight. So you know what? Luka, if anybody can drag these dudes across the finish line, it's you. So we're going to put you out there with the worst players. I don't know. But this is just not a lineup that's going to do good things. You know? And I know these are limited minutes, but this stuff's kind of shocking. But what is going on, Josh Green? Yeah, Josh Green looks awful lately, too. Which sucks. I saw somebody tweet, and it was a funny joke that, like, Josh Green reverting back to his horrible self, his unconfident, no confidence, honestly not very good version, is like also losing another player at the trade deadline. Absolutely awful. See, like, that's just a good skip pass, but where is like the quick rotations? Like, how are we not getting out on that? How are we not making that shot more difficult? This was a problem I was having watching the Jazz game. Was maybe like, what's Dyson Daniels shooting from 3? Let's see. Dyson Daniels is shooting 32% from 3. So it's a shot that maybe you live with. But I was also having this problem in that Jazz game. Rudy Gay, who is shooting 35% from 3 this year, so it's not like it's a terrible percentage. But early on in that game, it was mainly Luka. But the Mavericks were just letting him shoot wide open shot after wide open shot after wide open shot. And he got into a bit of a groove, and he finished the game with 10 points. But I feel like 8 of those points were like in the first quarter of the game because he was just getting constantly good looks. Feels like everything changed for Josh when Kidd cut his minutes. Yeah, it does. Yeah, and that really doesn't make any sense at all. Like, it felt like Josh Green got punished for being good. I don't even remember what it was that led to his benching. Oh, that fucking when that shot went in, I knew it was not going to be the Mavericks night. Najee Marshall hitting this fucking shot off the glass. It's just not your night. Said it best, this team is just not fun to win. Not fun to watch. Yeah, they're not fun to watch at all. I didn't think Kyrie's. Well, I'll look at the Kyrie Twitch stuff. I really didn't think it was that bad. I didn't even think it was a rant. Bertans had a pretty good game. I'll give him that. One way to right this ship. For a chip, first and foremost, must fire Kidd now. If I want to say this franchise president future, if Kidd stays, the dominoes will begin to fall with Kyrie. And with Luka. Listen, you can fire a kid. I really don't give a fuck at all. I'm not going to fight for him to save his job or anything like that. He can get fired tomorrow. Like, fire him. Do it. But this roster is horrible, man. Like, you gotta at some point take the center position seriously. You've got to get some more you got to get some more like legit depth players in here, man. Like Maxi Kleba. But being without Maxi Kleba should not be a death wish for this, a death sentence for this team. Being without Reggie Bullock should not be a death sentence for this team. You need like legit. That was a nice play. You need like some legit depth pieces in here. Some guys that like you're cool with getting some run if it's needed. CJ went off in the fourth. Dwight Powell. I mean, like, we all know what happened in this game, okay? We don't need to go there. The big story is Luka checked out in the third quarter, didn't go back in. He says that his quad injury is not good and that he will get an MRI tomorrow. Doncic says it's been challenging to push off the leg and that he's felt it since the second game after that NBA All-Star break, which would have been what game would that have been? So the Spurs were the first game. The Lakers. Okay. So the Lakers game, which was obviously a complete and total disaster. And since that game, I mean, since the All-Star break, the Mavericks are 3-4, man. This team is just fucked. It's funny because I saw Block tweeted something. He's like, oh, the Mavericks, like, watch the Mavericks go on a 3-game winning streak now. It's like, dude, I've been feeling the same way for such a long time where it's like, oh, knowing this Mavs team, like, they're going to win the next 3 games. It's not happening. Okay? This mythical win streak is not coming. This team has not won, this team has not won consecutive games since February 10th, which was a month ago. So it will be the next time the Mavericks win 2 consecutive games, it will have been a full calendar month since they did that. Now, granted, there was the All-Star break, but still. The day after the trade deadline was or 2 days, I guess. It was the 8th this year. 2 days after the trade deadline was the last time this team won consecutive games. That is just sad. And let's look at this shit post All-Star break, right? They beat the Spurs. That team is horrible. All right, they beat them. They annihilated them. That was fine. Justin Holiday had a miraculous game. Cool. Like, you're supposed to beat them. Whatever, right? I honestly don't even remember that game outside the Justin Holiday masterclass. The Lakers, absolutely embarrassing meltdown. Okay, Indiana, embarrassing performance. A game in which you were a 9.5-point favorite. You lose. 76ers, okay, yeah, that's a nice win. That's admittedly a nice win, but you needed more points, the most points a duo has ever scored in Mavericks history. That's what you needed in order to win this game. You gave up a 20, was it a 24-point lead? Whatever it was, you gave it up in like the span of 5 minutes, pretty much. So concerning. Then you had this Suns game, which, you know what? All things considered, don't really think this was a bad loss. Like, I actually thought you played pretty well. You should have won the game. No doubt about it. You should have won. You choked it, right? Luka missed that bunny at the end. He's going to miss some shots. That's okay. That was actually a really great look, especially considering what the Mavericks usually get in that circumstance. But, you know, you actually hung around. You actually hung around this game. I can excuse this loss, actually. And then this Jazz win, which did not feel like a win. Like, out of every win the Mavericks have had this season, and there's been a few like this, but this Jazz win, out of probably all of them, did not feel like a win at all. Like, you just left that game like, oh my God, man, this team is fucked. Like, this team is terrible. This team is horrible. You needed a Kyrie masterclass in the fourth quarter. You were a 10-point favorite in this game, and you barely won. And then last night, on the road against the Pelicans, you play terrible in New Orleans for some reason, and you lose that game. So I don't know. This team is just has not been fun. Like, it hasn't been fun. And look at this gauntlet right here, right? You have, out of your next, I think it's your next 13 games, 10 of them are on the road or something crazy like that. Grizzlies, who are in a complete and total, they are spiraling out of control. So this could be wins right here. Spurs should be wins. Lakers, that's tough. You're probably going to lose that game. They're tough now. Grizzlies, again on the road. Like, Ja could be back by this point, but I don't know. Warriors at home, okay. Like, the Curry's back and everything, but you are getting the Warriors at home. Charlotte on the road, come on. Indiana on the road at this point, come on. Philly, tough. Miami, tough. Atlanta, tough. Those teams are going to be needing wins. I don't know, guys. Like, if you were to tell me right now they finished below 500, considering they're, one game over 500 right now, that would not shock me. That would not shock me. This is why I also, before going into the second half of the season, everyone was like, "Oh, well, the Mavericks have the easiest schedule." I literally didn't give a single fuck about that stat. That stat I could care less about. Well, they got the easiest schedule. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Okay. It does not matter to me. We did have the easiest schedule, but it doesn't fucking matter. It literally does not matter. This for a normal season, they would have already been on the outside looking in. Yeah, true. Do you think Kyrie can carry us without Luka? Probably get a few wins. I mean, like we saw with this, for some reason or another, the team has just been horrific when Luka has been out there since the trade. Like, that's just what the numbers say, and it's obvious that Luka. It's obvious that Luka has not been himself. It is. But I tweeted this. I tweeted this yesterday, and it was not a very popular tweet. Oh my god, I'm getting like semi-ratioed, 52,000 views and only 400 likes. Yeesh. But anyways, God, I'll just have to assume that most people who are like shitting on me for this just do not watch my streams, and that's fine, right? That's completely fine. I'm not saying anything about that, but I feel like my intentions behind this tweet were very, very misunderstood. And if you watch my streams, you know exactly what I was meaning. You know exactly what I was meaning about this. Now, just for context, okay? I just pulled a gigantic hair out of my mouth. Just for context, let me show you the play that immediately that led to this tweet. Okay, I think it's important for context that you guys understand when I tweeted this and why. It was Luka shooting a three, right? He made a three. He comes back down the next possession, shoots. Admittedly, not a good shot, a heat check three, but whatever. I don't care. Luka, shoot those shots. It doesn't matter to me, right? But Luka then does not get back on defense, and it leads to what actually was a 5-on-3 transition opportunity for the Pelicans because Christian Wood was out of the play. I don't remember what it was. Was this in the first quarter or second quarter? 7:34. This would have been the second or third quarter, right? Let me see if I can find the play itself. It immediately followed a Luka 3. Or maybe I'm misremembering this whole sequence. Miss Doncic 3-point shot. Was this it, maybe? No, it wasn't that. Hold on, I'm trying to find this shot so you guys understand exactly where I was coming from. Oh, so you're back already? Yeah, I only was really taking the 2 games off. Maybe it was in the first quarter, actually. But anyways, that tweet came immediately after Luka failed to get back on defense, and it led to a fast break opportunity for the Pelicans. And I think it was this exact moment right here. Yep, it was this exact play. Okay, so Luka made a 3, then he comes back down the next possession, shoots another 3. All right, whatever. Right? And now look, Wood gets pushed out of the play. So he's out of the play too. Christ. He's out of the play too. But Luka just kind of shoots the shot, misses, and just kind of lingers, puts his head down, and is the last guy up the floor. That's what sparked that tweet. And people really don't like it. Okay, tell me. Seriously, I want you guys to be honest with me now. All right? On a scale of 1 to 10, how harsh of a criticism is this tweet? Because if you guys watch my streams, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I've had way worse than this. I've had way worse than this. The franchise is going to have some uncomfortable conversations with their best player in the offseason. That's not even a harsh criticism. Like, that's not even saying, oh, Luka, you fat fuck, get back on defense. Luka, you motherfucker, like, Luka sucks, trade his ass. Like, this is just like, the team's gonna have to sit him down and be like, hey, man, listen, we need you to, like, legit try. And listen, okay, fine. You want to toss yesterday out the window, last night out the window because he had a thigh injury? Okay, fine. Right? Throw him out the window. Throw that game out the window. Okay? Fine. You want to toss out the Jazz game, even though I don't really think he was that bad in that game. Okay, fine. You want to toss out the Suns game. Okay, fine. Thigh injury. Sure. This has been something that I have talked about all season long. All season long, even when Luka was having just an unbelievable, even when I thought Luka was playing like the best player in the league. In fact, I remember very vividly how fucking pissed off I was after the Magic game. What game was that? That was like game 5 of the season. That was like game 5. Let me see if I can find my one-word reaction to that. Because Luka showed up like he didn't give a single fuck in that game, and the Mavericks lost, and I was enraged by that game. And I said, Luka needs to do better. Luka needs to do better. Oh my God. How do you search like individual tweets? Bias, slightly, Magic, one word, something like that. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not scrolling through it. But anyways. At least a 4 because Luka has to be able to get back on defense instead of complaining to the refs. That's really what it is. I mean, there was those guys on the ticket, 1310 the ticket, where somebody tracked all of like the possessions from the Lakers game, and he found on a third of the possessions in the game against the Lakers, 1/3. Luka spent yelling at the refs in some capacity. That's just, dude, that's got to get cleaned up, man. It just has to get cleaned up. All right, let me see if I can find my one-word reaction to the Magic game. Back whenever the Mavericks were, like, still doing okay and Luka was playing, like, at an unbelievable level, I was still getting mad about this shit. Because I've been mad about this shit consistently all season long. Scroll. When was that? I remember it was one of my more. Oh, here it is. Quick one-word reaction to that utter shit show we just saw from the Mavericks. My God, one word. There's so many to choose from. Here we go. How about pathetic, embarrassing, lackadaisical, horrendous, atrocious? Would be laughable, right? Would be kind of funny because they played so fucking terrible. If it weren't the same thing over and over and over. How many times have we seen this in the Luka era, right? We show up, and I knew it. I called it on Twitter. Go back and look through my timeline. I called it. Once it came out that Paolo was out, I said early start time, bad team, best player out, guaranteed loss. Every single time the Mavs have a game like this, it feels like they lose. They come out with no energy. They don't look like they give a single fuck. Luka plays terrible. How many times are we going to get this? And then after the game, it's, oh, well, we played relaxed. Yeah, you'd think you would learn your lesson, right? You'd think you would have learned your lesson at this point. I mean, how many games like this are we going to get in the Luka era? How many of these no-shows against teams that shouldn't be a competition? All right, quick one-word reaction. Mainly, my point is acting like these criticisms only popped up since the thigh injury is not reality. Okay, just not reality. Do you think he should not go overseas and instead rest during the offseason? That is a problem. Like, I don't think you could tell him tonight. I love that Luka loves playing for Slovenia. I think it's awesome. I would never want to tell him to not do it. You know, he wants to do it. He should go do it. But yes, I do think that factors into things. I really do. But you can't tell him to not do it, you know? I feel like I would feel kind of gross if the Mavericks forced him to not play with the Slovenian national teams, and they will literally never do that. He will literally never do that. Like, the Mavericks would never do that. But yeah, because this year is this year you have what's this year? The World Cup? Is that what it's called? What's the you have World Cup of basketball, right? Is that what it's called? Well, you've got a tournament this summer. I think next summer, let's see, FIBA international schedule. I know you have something next year too, and then before you know it, it's going to be the Olympics again. I mean, they play year round. You get the FIBA World Cup this summer. Okay, I don't know what the fuck that is. But either way, yeah, it's going to be another busy summer for him. But it's obviously affecting his body, like playing this much and having that much of a load on you the whole season is obviously going to affect things. So essentially what I'm saying is, right, the team's going to have to sit down with Luka. Somebody in the organization with some gravitas, you have to sit down with Luka, tell him, hey man, listen, like at a certain point, you know, you're going to have to reach a point, you know, yelling at refs, complaining to refs, everybody fucking does it, whatever. That I don't care about that, actually. But taking plays off, not getting back on defense. There's even been examples recently of him yelling at refs in the middle of plays offensively and not looking. It was that the first Luka and Kyrie game, there was that clip that went viral on Twitter of like the play is happening offensively and Luka's like straight up not looking at the play because he's yelling at the ref. Like, you got to you got to fix that shit, man. You're the de facto leader of the team. You know? I liked when JJ Barea called out Luka, and it seems like Lucas hasn't taken what Barea said to heart. What did he say again? You think Dirk can speak to him? I don't know. I mean, Luka like acknowledges this all the time, which is why it's also frustrating. I hate that Luka has to be a leader of this team. We need a vet. Yeah, and that's like a sit-down convo should also be like, hey, what do we need to do? Like, okay, what kind of players do you want around you? Do you want a vet in here who's going to, you know, take over and be the captain of the team? And I don't know. Some people were responding to this tweet saying like I only criticize Luka. One, that's not fucking true. Okay? That is just not true. I feel like I wouldn't say been the biggest hater, but how often have I shit on Christian Wood all season long? You know? I've shit on Jason Kidd all season. I've shit on the front office literally since the beginning of this channel. Like, I don't know how I feel about Luka. To me, he's the best in the world, but at the same time, he doesn't seem to really care. I mean, I wouldn't really say that, but your whole shtick is calling Luka the best player in the world. Thank you. Like, I just, like, people actually were responding to this tweet, making it seem like I am blaming all of the Mavericks problems on Luka. I had to reread this tweet 50 times. I had to reread it. I'd say, okay, am I misreading my own tweet? Like, I don't know how you can infer from this that I think every single problem is Luka's fault. Where on earth are you getting that? Mavs fans won't know how important Luka is until he leaves. See, like, that's another. Like, what? Yes, we will. Yes, we do, man. We have reached this really, really brutal intersection of the Luka fans and the Mavs fans. It's reaching its tipping point. It's getting really bad because this is the worst the team has been in the Luka era, outside of the rookie season, obviously, which doesn't really count because it makes Mavericks fans insecure, but it might cause tension between Luka and the front office. No, man. All fan bases are like this. It's not you slightly. It's just Mavs Twitter was so toxic last night, and then your tweet came up. I think that has a lot to do with it as well, because I think this was my first tweet of the game. Like, I wasn't even really live tweeting it like that, and I tweeted this. Like, Luka's been getting a lot of heat this season. It really has only been recently. And it's because his performance on the floor warrants it, man. Like, I'll toss out, hey, he's settling for threes and he's struggling defensively and he's not able to attack the paint like he used to because of his thigh injury. Okay, fine. I'll accept that 1,000%. That's 100%. I get that. And I like, yeah, Luka's gonna have off games every now and then. That's fine with me too. I only get angry at the effort level, and the only reason why I even really get angry about that, because I think he is the best player on the planet. Okay? And they're like, okay. Look, when it comes to criticizing Luka Doncic, right? You have, if you think Luka, like I think of Luka, as in he's up here. He is upper echelon of players, top tier, top 3, top 4 player on the planet, right? These guys are held to different standards than these guys, right? So when these guys start doing shit that you would expect out of these guys, it warrants criticism and it warrants complaints, right? But that's only because you expect guys who are on this tier to play differently, to perform differently, to behave in different ways. Like those are just the expectations that come with it. Now, if you don't think Luka's at this tier, okay, fine. Then don't have those high expectations for him. But I know you guys think Luka's on this tier. Which is why I get very confused when it's like, I get some people are incredibly toxic. I get that. But when there's like legit valid criticism levied towards Luka, it doesn't have to be this world-ending event. You know? It doesn't have to be this world-ending event. Where it's like everyone's blaming Luka for everything that's ever happened to the team. Yeah, he started to regress in January, but got his juice back in Detroit, NOLA, and then got injured and lost it again. You should hold a top 5 player in the world to the best player, the best of the best standards. You should be able to criticize him, especially when he's obviously been a problem. It's crazy, too, and the reason why I criticize him so much. Actually, I don't even think I criticize him that much, but the reason I criticize him when I do, and about the things I do, is they're very fixable. Like, this isn't like, oh my God, Luka doesn't know how to go left. Like, once he learns that, okay, well, guess what? Some guys actually never learn that. Or, oh man, Luka's been a career 29% three-point shooter, but the moment he figures out that shot, well, some guys never figure out that shot. Slovenach, thank you very much for joining the Slightly Delusional Club. Trust me, since Kyrie joined, the Luka criticism has been overboard. Criticism is warranted, but Luka fans are just lumping in stupid takes with real criticism. I think that's kind of it too. I think people are really falling into like troll traps and stuff of people saying trade Luka. Obviously, nobody actually fucking thinks that. It makes me sad when, you know, the Luka fans, which by the way, I love. I get it. I have never had a problem with people being Luka fans only or fans of players only. I don't have an issue with that. That's part of having a superstar is you're going to get a huge influx of fans who are only fans of that player. And that's fine. That's cool. That's part of what makes basketball so great is you can have these mega stars who can completely and totally change teams, right? I've never had a problem with that. I just get upset when people are like, oh, this fan base does not deserve Luka. It's like, come on, dude. Like, really? Come on. Like, if you had clips, if like Luka was on the Lakers or on the Knicks, and these clips of him like just not trying on defense were floating around, what do you think the reaction would be? What do you think the reaction would be? Because I promise you, you would think that the Mavericks fans' reaction would be elementary shit in comparison to that. I promise you that. This is the first time in Luka era since his rookie season that feels like missing the playoffs is a real possibility. Yeah. You have an equal in Kyrie that is getting down the court with urgency. Just needs to step it the fuck up. You are not fans. You are idiots. Mavs fans deserve Luka and flat, but don't deserve Cuban. Yeah, see, thank you. That's true. But I don't know. It makes me sad when people are like, oh, Mavericks fans don't deserve Luka. It's like, why not? I don't understand. Can't really say that Kyrie was a champion when he was Luka's age. Kyrie wasn't even the number one option. Yeah, Josh falling off of a cliff has been bad, for sure. Like, Josh Green just forgetting how to play, unfortunately, really has sucked the life out of things. Maybe a play-in loss will finally wake this team up. Maybe. I mean, I've been on record saying I think that like a heartbreaking playoff loss might just have to be what happens. We gonna cry if Luka leaves? I know some of you trash talk him a lot. It's not even trash talk. Like, nobody wants Luka to be incredible and amazing more than me. All right? I made 2 separate like 30-minute videos in the past 6 months on why I think he's the best player in the world. How many games are just kids' fault? Probably a good amount. Luka's MRI is clean. Luka Doncic's MRI in his thigh is clean, and he's expected to return as soon as discomfort allows him to. Okay, well, that's good. Good. But if I do think that they should be patient. He shouldn't have played last night. Let's talk about that. Luka has been having thigh issues and says it's been bothering him, and apparently he's barely been able to fucking walk. He should not have played last night. I really hope this isn't Alonzo's situation. No, Alonzo had like fucked knees. He should not have played last night. Especially considering you had 2 days off in between your next game. So I would have given Luka 3 full days off. He shouldn't have played last night. I thought Kid would rest him. See, like I can't even blame Kid either. I feel like people getting mad at Kid for Luka playing last night are a little bit. I feel like people mad at Kid. Can I donate a thing? Yeah, you could donate. I did see Alonzo's probably getting another surgery. Yeah, that sucks, man. That really fucking sucks for. That really sucks for Alonzo, dude. Oh, can I donate a thigh? Yeah, go for it. See, hit up your local hospital. This is a big dub, though. But anyways, I think a lot of the people really mad at Kid for Luka playing last night. I think a lot of that anger is misplaced, to be honest with you. It just feels weird to blame Kid. Because at the end of the day, a head coach is just going to listen to his medical staff, right? Like, that's their job. That's literally their job to say, hey, Kid, Luka wants to play tonight, but we don't think he should. Like, his thigh, he's just having a hard time moving. He's having a hard time really moving at all. So he shouldn't play tonight, right? Or mid-game, they pull him aside and say, hey, like, we got to get Luka out of there. He's not himself. He's obviously hurting. This injury could get worse if we don't get him out. Let's get him out. So I don't know. I feel like I get it. Everyone wants to shit on Kid. He's the easy scapegoat this season. I understand that. But I feel like blaming him for this Luka injury situation is just weird. Just, especially since I know for a fact Luka was trying to play, which is good. That's what you want out of your star player. And every star player is going to want to play. But everyone's like, Jason Kidd, you bald bitch. I can't believe you let him out there. It's like, aren't they paying like an entire medical staff millions of dollars to prevent shit like this from happening? Okay, but here's the problem. Here's the problem that nobody really wants to talk about, but I'll talk about it, okay? Luka has a history. Luka has a history of like, oh. And you're like, oh my God, Luka just fucking broke every bone in his leg. The way that he's moving up and down the floor. And then 3 minutes later, and one! So I kind of can't blame him. I can't blame Kid for watching Luka like look hurt out there, because that happens pretty frequently. I might clip that. Do it. If there were times we hold breath was back when he fell on his back versus the Lakers. Who do you think is the best person to coach Luka and the Mavs? What's up with the European coaches, huh? The Cavs brought in David Blatt, and then the NBA was like, oh, we're not doing that again. Like LeBron was like, no, I'm not playing with this dude. And the rest of the league was like, okay, we're not doing that again. That experiment's over. I have seen a lot of Mavs fans say Popovich. Where is that coming from? I've actually seen multiple Mavs fans say Pop. Is that like a real thing? I think Euro coaches don't care about ego management or controlling personalities nearly as much. It's true. Ime Udoka. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I've seen some people say that'd be a terrible look. I mean, hiring Kid wasn't a great look. There's a lot of baggage with Udoka. Somebody's gonna take on that baggage though. He's gonna be a head coach somewhere. He's gonna be a head coach somewhere next October. Like, that's guaranteed. I'm really scared it's gonna be like Steve Nash. If they do move on from Kid, I'm terrified it's gonna be Steve Nash. Luka's probably playing Overwatch now. See, like, I don't even care about that stuff. Like, I honest to God, Luka could have 50,000 hours on Overwatch. I really don't give a fuck, honestly. I think athletes have a little bit more free time than we like to think they do. So if Luka wants to spend it playing Overwatch, cool. I really don't care. I literally want him getting back on defense and not complaining to the refs mid-play. That's really it. What's your current power ranking heading in the West playoffs? Oh, God. All right, well, especially after the Kevin Durant injury. I kept seeing people blame the ball boy for this. Like, poor ball boys. This is actually kind of true. If this happened to Anthony Davis instead of Kevin Durant, the amount of slander on the timeline would be insane. Oh, people kept blaming the ball boy. Am I crazy? This is just fucking up your ankle. You guys are weird with athletes playing video games. It is kind of like anytime somebody learns that an athlete plays a video game, it is like this. It's like, what? Reggie Bullock was playing Warzone last night? No fucking way. And you're like, oh my God, Luka just like. And you're like, oh my God, Luka just fucking broke every bone in his leg. The way that he's moving up and down the floor. And then 3 minutes later. And then! Like. True. By the way, I am. This week has been a bad week for my slightly slim challenge. Okay. Like. I'm a comfort eater. That's a big problem I have. And I've just needed my comfort food this week. So, that's just what happened. But I figured if I'm going to get mad at Luka and say Luka needs to be in better shape, I have to get in better shape myself. Mike D'Antoni. Oh, man. Imagine a D'Antoni and Frank Vogel combo. Woo! I stopped playing video games at like 18. I fluctuate with video games. Right now I'm in a video game era. But I'll go like a month or two where I just play a fuck ton of video games, and then like 3 months where I like literally will not play a single second. It's just kind of weird. I'm in my 2K era. As much as I've shit on the game, I've been playing it a lot and have, honest to God, kind of enjoyed it. For as much as I've shit on that game. All right, my power rankings for the Western Conference. Nuggets, numero uno. I would have put the Suns because they do look dominant. They just do. Devin Booker's been on a tear. They haven't lost when KD's played. They're saying he might miss the regular season. Ah, God. Oh my God. Okay. He did finish the workout. But that's the thing. If you guys have ever like fucking tweaked your ankle, you know that shit doesn't really start hurting until like an hour later. And you're like, oh my God, my ankle's like the moment you sit down and chill for a little bit, you're like, oh, my ankle's horrible. They said he might miss the first round. Here's the thing, right? As long as the Suns make the playoffs and as long as they are still in the mix, still alive whenever KD comes back, they're going to be fine because Kevin Durant just comes off of injuries like nothing happened every time. He doesn't need a ramp-up period. He doesn't need any of it. He just shows up and is amazing. KD probably misses 5 or 6 games. They didn't look that serious. I mean, that's the thing about ankle injuries, though. Like, all of them look terrible. All of them look terrible. And it just, you never know. Suns, Mavs, first round without KD. Without KD, the Mavericks should win that series. Straight up. But as I tweeted last night, the Grizzlies are really the only team that I feel are dysfunctional enough to lose to the Mavericks right now. But anyways, power rankings. We'll go Denver 1. I'd actually still probably go Suns 2, even after the KD injury. Then I think I'd go Kings. So I'd have Nuggets, Suns, Kings. You might have to throw the Lakers into the next spot. Honest to God. I think I'd probably throw... the Lakers into the 4 spot. And then the rest of the teams are just a shit show. Like, the Grizzlies are spiraling. Steven Adams is out for the rest of the regular season. They don't know when Ja Morant's coming back. They're out of control. Clippers, I mean, they've won 2 straight. Golden State, one game it's like, oh my God, Golden State, here we go. Like, we're all fucking idiots for doubting them. The next game it's like, oh my God, Jordan Poole is actually maybe the worst player in basketball. Oh, and by the way, I'm doing my top 100 player list next week. I had Jordan Poole in my top 100. He's out. Jordan Poole, yeah, you're out of here. Get out of the top 100. Guy is horrible, and I am ashamed of myself for putting him back in the top 100 after one good game. Yeah, out. Don't care about his performances between now and when the list debuts. I don't even know where I would put the Mavericks. Like, if the Mavericks, out of every team currently in the top 10, the only team I feel like the Mavericks could beat in a series that I could comfortably say, like, I expect the Mavericks to win this series would be the Grizzlies at this point. Don't think they'd beat the Nuggets. Not convinced they beat the Kings. I think they'd beat the Grizzlies. Don't think they'd beat the Suns with KD. I just don't think they'd beat Golden State. Even though I don't think Golden State's good. I just think there'd be like a mental roadblock there for some reason. Shams. Meet overtime Aleeps, Eamon, and Asur Thompson. Turn off notifications right now. Turn off notifications. I mean, actually, the more... Okay, guys, whenever you start feeling really low about the Mavericks, all you have to do is look at the standings. Every team sucks. Every team sucks. Nuggets would destroy you. Suns with KD would beat you. I can't even say with certainty any other team would beat you, which is actually crazy. Because I think your team has been a joke all season long. But with Luka and Kyrie as your 1-2 punch, I actually can't, unless it's the Nuggets or the Suns, I really can't, like, doubt you in any series. So, Warriors would destroy the Mavs. All they have to do is exactly what they did last year. Yeah, that's true too. But they're so bad on the road. TJ McCollum really broke my heart in a game the Mavs ultimately deserved to lose anyway. Yeah. Logan, another $5 donation. My top 5 games. Number 1. Black Ops 1. Oh, this is top 5 games ever? Black Ops 1 Zombies was great. I loved Black Ops 1. Played the fuck out of it when I was younger. I don't remember the Zombies. Was that the one with all the presidents? Or was that World at War? Black Ops 2 multiplayer. Don't think I was a big fan of that one. Grand Theft Auto 5. Oh, no. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Modern Warfare 3 Infected. Didn't play that much. Wii Sports? I loved Wii Sports. Luka was the only one who showed up in the Warriors series? Yeah. I mean, the Warriors just dominated the Mavericks last year. I can't use my controller in a park game. Anyone know fixes? I'm on PC. Nope. I've been mobbing out on the PS5. Like, what do you think about Jimmy? He might be done in Miami after recent comments. Jimmy would be nice. I'd rather have Bam. Did you say anything about the Kyrie stream? I honestly don't think it's something worth talking about. No, I don't really think it's worth talking about either. I saw clips from it. I didn't think anything too crazy was said.
Elated. Just elated to be here. Oh, it's great. It's great, dude. Dude, it's great. It's great. It's great, broski. Bro, name it. It's great. It's great. It's great, bro. It's great. It's great. It's great. This life's great, bro. I have no complaints. I don't.
Yeah, I'll stream the game on Saturday. I want to see more clips from this.
You know who I am. Hours, and you think you know who I am.
Look, I think Slow Hoops fan, honestly, I think he gets it bad. He gets it bad on Twitter. I think people are a little bit too harsh on the guy. Obviously a Luka fan. Instead of a Mavericks fan, which is fine. But it's tweets like this. I saw this clip. I don't think it has anything to do with the Dallas media. I'm thinking of another tweet. He had another tweet where he kind of insinuated he was mad at the Dallas media.
You see a few posts. Oh, Kai's woke. Kai got it. Oh, Kai is, oh my goodness, he just doesn't fit into the mold of all of the other people. And man, he's different. He's crazy. He's arrogant. He's this. He's that. He's this. All from seeing me from 3 hours. You get all that. Kai, what's Kai gonna do this summer? Does Kai like Dallas? What happened in Brooklyn? What happened in Boston? What happened in Cleveland? Why did you leave LeBron? Why did you leave Jason? Why did you leave Katie? Why did you...
Like, he's obviously talking about the national media. And he's right. I don't blame him, dude. Kyrie's just been the punching bag for a while now. He's just a Slovenian that likes Luka more than Mavs. That's it. Not a big deal. No, I agree. I think that he gets shit on too much on Mavs Twitter. I truthfully do. Kyrie needs the vent. I'm glad he did. Yeah.
You leave all these people for 3 hours. Get to ask all these legitimate questions. As if 21 hours every day wasn't happening after that. Me. You would think that I'm the cancer in the locker room, as if basketball is an individual sport that one person is supposed to take blame for. It's 15 guys on the team, and I'm the one cancer in the room. That's what it's portrayed as. That's what you guys get. That's what they have fun doing. That's why these older, bitter gentlemen and women keep my name in their mouths every day.
He's right, 1,000,000%. He is. Every clip I've seen from this Twitch stream, I didn't watch the full thing, but every clip I've seen, I have agreed with him. Every single one. Mo Bamba's out for 4 weeks. NBA ratings were already low. Now they're never going to recover.
You know who I am. You see a few posts. Oh,
Fans telling me how to play basketball. How does that that makes sense.
Do you want me to tell you how to post on Amazon? Do you want me to tell you how to post on Amazon?
How y'all gonna tell me how to
You
play
want me to tell you
basketball?
about Amazon?
God.
How am I free if I know my people aren't free in Africa? How am I free if I know my indigenous people are not free in Australia? How am I free if I know kids are still working on the cobalt mines in the Congo, making Teslas?
Random Elon slander? I'm here for it.
I never got to give my mom my awards in the NBA. I never got to hug my mom after a 40-point game. I never got to hug my mom getting my first car. I never had my mom teach me how to drive. I never had my mom go to the DMV to go get my driver's license with me. My mom.
Damn. I literally didn't see a single thing wrong in anything he said. This shit is hilarious, though. This is a good reaction meme.
Elated. Just elated to be here. Oh, it's great. It's great, dude. Dude, it's great. It's great. It's great, broski. Bro, name it. It's great. It's great. It's great, bro. It's
Yeah, people were freaking out about that. People were freaking out about that stream. I don't think he said, "Hey, what the hell?" Just taking out from my phone. I'm still in the fucking dark. It's been 3 hours without power, and I watched Insidious a couple days ago, so I'm in a really good headspace currently in the pitch black. Either way, let's talk about the game. How do you make a 25-point lead a 4-point lead in the span of 3 minutes? That really is impressive. Like, once again, this team, I tweeted out today joking that I was trying to predict a creative way this team would lose, and I predicted it would be the most points ever by a starting backcourt in a loss. And that was pretty close to what we got. Kyrie, Luka, 40-plus points each. The first time in Mavs history that happened. I think they tied the most threes they've ever hit. I mean, look at this. This is crazy. Yeah, this is why this seems so frustrating, man, because you see these high flashes during this game. Luka and Kyrie going crazy, making shots. Defensively, it wasn't great, but I didn't think it was horrific at times. And this is why we get upset. Like, we see the highs with this. Oh, my God.
We don't even have to go into Twelski. We don't even have to go into that. We don't have to go into that because Twelski's not the only person that's dealt with real life circumstances. He's not the only one. And he won't be the only one. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to stand and make sure that I'm there for my family and my friends. We all make mistakes. We all do things that we regret. But somehow when you're a celebrity and you're famous, you're underneath different rules?
He's kind of right. But also at the same time, I will say this. When you have a platform, there are different rules. Right? That is the reality. That is the reality. Fair or not, that's just how it is. How long was the stream? I think it was like 45 minutes or something. Something like that. I never paid attention to Kyrie till now. He comes off as a team player and intelligent, plus players speak highly of him and truly like him. I always thought there was something weird about the way players talked about Kyrie compared to everyone else. Yeah, that Hardy poster was nice, for sure. I want to say this about Jaden Hardy. You guys know I love the guy to death, right? You guys know I love him. You guys know I want him to be as good as possible, and I think he will be a good player in the future, for sure. But look, this is how second, like, hey, down here. God, this is how long it's been since we've been here, unfortunately. But look around the league. Guys like Jaden Hardy, these young players, these young developmental guys, second-round picks, there's not a lot of contending teams or playoff hopeful teams that are going to be playing a guy like Jaden Hardy a lot of minutes. Like, that's just the reality. That's just the reality, and that's fine. Like, literally, that's fine. I'm a big Jaden Hardy believer, and even I was telling you guys that earlier this season, it's going to be like a 2 to 3 year process with him, you know, and that's completely fine. Isaiah Stewart out 3 to 4 weeks. Mobamba out 4 weeks. Jesus, man, what is going on today? Everything but a Kevin Durant update, huh? Katie and Braun sold their soul to beat the Mavs in a regular season game. Fuck! So CJ, stay safe, man. Stay safe, CJ McCollum. Everyone who turns to God against the Dallas Mavericks, they need to stay safe. Pistons going all out for Wemby. Dude, I mean, what is it? The top four seeds, the bottom 4 seeds all have the same odds. I mean, what more tanking could you possibly do? Like the Pistons, San Antonio Spurs, and Rockets. What more could they possibly do? Okay, bottom three. Bottom 3 all have 14% chance. Bottom 3 all have a 14% chance. Okay, so I guess yeah, you want to fight off the Hornets. So let's see, the Lakers. Where do you have to be to like comfortably have a top 10 pick? Where Portland's at? Portland and OKC, where they're at? Let's see. There is a world that exists. There just is. And I mean, really not even a crazy world at all. You're only 2.5 games back. 2.5 games back from having the 9th best odds. Is that what that is? What the fuck is this website? Jesus. Yeah, 9th best odds. Well, remember, the Mavericks, you would want to get to a place, if you're going to miss the fucking playoffs, you'd want to get to a place where you have the highest odds to keep your pick. Like being the 12th overall, like missing the playoffs and being the 12th overall pick would be such an unbelievable nightmare. Are you good, SB? I was worried about you when you had to cut the stream the other day. Yeah, I'm good. I had a family emergency, but yeah. What's up, Sally Bias? Twitter really came at you today, huh? Yeah. Yes. It's not the first time. It's not the first time. I know. Especially right now when everything is just so heightened. The Mavericks have really been struggling lately, and everybody's just kind of on edge. Like, criticism of Luka is going to be taken really, really harshly. Are the Stars making the playoffs? Fuck, I always forget about the Stars stream. Admittedly, I have completely forgotten about it. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I've been watching a lot, and I mean a lot, of World Baseball Classic. A slightly baseball channel is not out of the realm of possibility. It's not. Maybe they're gonna suck me. Maybe they're gonna suck me back in. Maybe they're gonna suck me back in with the new pace of play rules. That might be enough suck. Slightly soccer channel. Call the baseball channel slightly round. Like, that would be funny for like 14 people. Like this would be such a YouTube moment if I like was like, hey guys, I'm just gonna start a baseball channel for fun, and that ends up like becoming huge for some reason. Do the Stars play a day game? Saturday, April 8th, 2:30 p.m. That could be the one. Saturday, April 8th, 2:30 p.m. Do the Mavericks play that day? They don't. That could be the one. Baseball would be a different channel, right? Yeah, I would definitely make baseball a different channel. And I don't see, like, I don't know. Anything would be better than John Boy. You don't like John Boy? I don't follow enough. I have listened. See, like, I'm like trying to get back into baseball. Really, I am. I tried last year, and it just didn't click for some reason. I'm trying again this year. I used to be very, very into baseball. Like, as far as technical, just like the technical aspects of the game, I know more about baseball than any other sport, easily. But it's been so long since I've watched the MLB. Like, I really couldn't tell you who's who or what's what. John Boy is where the conspiracy theorists live. Most amazing thing is McCarthy is not the worst coach in Dallas. You're right. Hope Slovenia does not have team in the Classic. I don't know if Slovenia plays baseball. Baseball has just always been hard for me to watch, too slow pace. I never really cared about the slow pace. I will say, like, you know how some basketball fans or some like ex-basketball fans are like, oh, three-point shooting ruined the fucking sport. 3-point shooting ruined the fucking sport. See, like, I feel that way about baseball. I don't really care about the pace of play. It's just the endless strikeouts, our home runs, or nothing. You just really sucked some of the fun out of the game. I don't like watching every other player strike out. It's just not that fun, you know? Like, a pitching duel can be fun from time to time, but when every single game is the same, it gets really difficult to watch. I'm hoping some of the recent changes could maybe push things in a different direction. The shift is killing baseball for me. See, they're getting rid of the shift. So I know a lot of you guys don't give a shit, but there's been a lot of like promising stuff from spring training about the like new rule changes in baseball. Our sports are basketball, volleyball, football, skiing, ski jumping. I want to. We have a new field and all. I mean, I've been, and it's just, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice stadium. Like, it's cool that the Rangers now are playing indoors, so you don't have to sit in 110-degree heat all the time. But it just doesn't feel like a baseball stadium. I don't know what it is. It's the same way, that, are you watching Champions League? I'm still laser focused on the World Cup. And once the World Cup ends, maybe I'll shift my focus to Champions League. But at the end of the day, like when it comes to soccer, World Cup is really what I get up for. Yeah, sports complex is probably the best way to word it. Like the Cowboys, there's like whenever you go to an NFL game, you want it to feel a certain way. Like you honestly want it to feel dirty. Like you want it to feel like I'm around 80,000 other people who are all fucking drunk off their ass. Everyone's screaming. There's going to be at least 10 to 12 brawls in my general vicinity. Like that's kind of how I feel it should be, and it's just like Cowboy Stadium is just like a art exhibit. I don't know. It's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's absolutely insane. I'm sorry, Sally. I'm only a one sport guy. No, that's pretty much how I've been the last like 3 or 4 years. If you want all that, you need to go to Philly. I was kidding about the brawl stuff. I don't like that. I really hate that. Whatever the last Dallas Cowboys game I went to, not this past season, but the season before, they played the Eagles on Monday Night Football and absolutely destroyed them. And like there was these Eagles fans in front of us, or not in front of us, but like, you know, like a section away from us or whatever. And they were just getting pelted with beer. I thought it was kind of lame. I get that that's fun. Like that's the rivalry side of it, but I don't know. I feel like that's a little extreme. You know? Like it's just sports at the end of the fucking day. Yeah, I find it cringe too. I didn't like it. I was getting secondhand embarrassment. I will say, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna start sharing this stuff. I really don't care anymore. I went to the Cowboys game, Cowboys Stadium, on some psychedelics, and I was worried that it was going to be an overwhelming experience, but it was actually fucking crazy. To be around 100,000 people and like an environment like that, pretty sick. It was pretty sick, but the atmosphere is just like, and I knew it'd be safe because I knew the atmosphere at Mavericks games or Cowboys games are just like, whatever. Oh, there's a football game going on. Special K? No, God, no. I was at the Rockets game when Luka dropped 50. I got shoved in the back. Why? Why would Rockets fans care at this point? Like, you should be thanking me for a loss, so you're one step closer to fucking getting Wembanyama. Like, have you tried DMT? No. Whenever I was in college, I was obsessed with it. I was obsessed with the idea of it. Do you think J-Mid is instrumental to re-signing Kyrie? I can't imagine. I'm scared to go to another team's game and root for the Mavs. I've never been to I've been to like other NBA games in different cities. I've never been to a road Mavs game. I've never been to any of my team's road games. I'm now thinking about it. Never been to any of them. Not even in college, I don't think. And I don't count neutral site games. To be fair, I went crazy with the trash talk, but it's because I'm a Leo. Oh, God. FSA crowd is cool. Lots of other Mavs fans pull up. Yeah, I'm imagining, especially now, too, since the Spurs aren't as great. I went to the Jazz road game in the playoffs, game 3. See, that would be fun. I did a bunch of shrooms at WinStar once. It was a terrible trip. I really do not like being in casinos under the influence of anything. I think it's just a dangerous thing. Have I been to an FC Dallas game? I don't think I have. I've been to like football games in that stadium, but I've never been to an FC Dallas game. I don't think, at least. Going to the Memphis game this weekend, I already get nervous in Memphis. I mean, I feel like if you just mind your own business, you know? Like, I would say there's a 0.00001% chance you're ever going to get, like, decked or fought for just, like, being there and rooting for your team. We beat the Grizzlies since Jaws out? Yeah, the Mavericks should be able to beat the Grizzlies. They should. They're not good. 2 months ago, we were in agreement that Lauri Markkanen is the most improved player of the year, but is there an argument for Brunson? Yeah, there's definitely an argument for him. I still think it's Markkanen's. Just think he fits the mold more from being like kind of, I wouldn't say a castaway, but I mean kind of. Like he was sitting in free agency forever until the Cavs were like, all right, fine, we'll bring you in, and then was just thrown into the trade, the Donovan Mitchell trade. After having a decent year with the Cavs last year, but nothing crazy, and then was an All-Star game starter. Like, yeah, he's got to be the guy. Although Brunson's up there too. Larry's an All-Star. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be him. How's the dating Maverick and all? I can say it's just a good sport and respectful to the home team. What? Fox doesn't really fit the mold to me because he's already been really good. Like making the jump from like borderline all-star to all-star / star isn't big. Isn't like a big enough leap. It has to be like a marketing leap where it was like leaping from like good solid role guy to like legit all-star. And I always like when it's like guys you don't really expect. Like that was like Julius Randle was always kind of good. But when he had that All-NBA season a couple years ago, I was like, holy fuck, nobody saw this. Like, who saw this coming? That's how marketing is. With Brunson, like, if you paid attention, this really isn't that shocking. I know, like, he's been better than I thought he would have been. But, you know, Mavs fans, we knew who he was. You remember the Dallas Burns? Dallas Burns. I remember the Dallas Desperados. Aren't they back? Isn't that the name of the XFL team? I just realized the Kings don't even play Rashawn Holmes. Yeah, because he's not that good. Yeah, that was the arena football team. After watching Finland and Eurobasket, Lowry not ending up in Dallas where he wanted to be prior. Yeah. You can kind of tell, too. We talked about that, like, last stream. Something. How? When, like, already kind of good players get, like, a gigantic boost in confidence. Look out. Oh, the Renegades. The Renegades. Yeah, I mean, Markkanen, I remember that. Markkanen was just straight up like, I want to play in Dallas. Like, he straight up said I wanted to play in Dallas while he was a free agent. And admittedly, I really didn't want to do it. I remember at the time, I did not want to do it. I didn't think he was going to be worth the money. Was definitely wrong. Do you think MPJ could have a marketing development if he wasn't playing behind Jokic? I feel like MPJ has to be playing alongside a guy like that, though. Like, playing alongside a guy like Jokic is better for him. Dorian has been struggling in Brooklyn. Well, he had that game against the Celtics. He was great in that game. How am I washed? Playing alongside Jokic is better for anyone? Yeah, true. MPJ is such a question mark, though. His health is a huge issue. Of course, yeah. Anyways, I didn't really have a plan for today's stream. I just wanted to go live and talk for a little bit, get back into the streaming groove, and then just felt like it was Side by the West is so wide open right now. It's crazy. I'm not even close to my prime. I'm probably like, in terms of like content creation, I'm probably like 15 years away. I'm thinking like maybe multi-billion-dollar movie projects. I'm thinking like multi-billion-dollar movie projects. You know, maybe the new cinematic universe of some sort. You know, how long have you been streaming on YouTube? Consistently, like a year and a half. Consistently. With real regularity, not just sporadically. Anyone else surprised at how happy Spencer Dinwiddie was to leave? I think Spence is just like that, honestly. The SBCU. That's right. The SBCU. Short and sweet. See you next week. No, I'm gonna go live tomorrow too. I'm gonna go live tomorrow, and I'll have some segment figured out in my head. I'll have some segment that we'll go over. Maybe the top playoff players, or maybe like 5 storylines to watch or something. Don't know. How have you been? I've been okay. Can Kyrie make an All-NBA team this year? Luka, Shea, Dame, Donovan Mitchell, Steph. Any guards I'm missing? They'd probably give Fox the nod over him. Harden probably over him. Harden maybe not. I don't know. Like, I feel like they would probably vote Halliburton over him. I don't think there's no way Kyrie's getting All NBA. I know Luka's a young adult and is allowed to have hobbies, but please God, no one show him League of Legends or CS:GO. Hey man, Overwatch is fun. This whole year I've been thinking that Bam Adebayo, this whole year I've been like, Bam Adebayo is probably third team, right? Like, Bam Adebayo is probably going to be the third team All-NBA center. Like, who else would it be? I always fucking forget about Sabonis. For some reason. Halo Infinite greater than over mid, fort mid, call mid. I like Halo Infinite. I haven't played it in like a year though. Would be nice for Luka to win a scoring title at least. Yeah, that dream is dead, unfortunately. The 0-point game against the Suns really killed him. Obviously, like, that shouldn't really count, but it does. The game he got ejected against the Timberwolves. Even that game against the Pelicans where he was probably going to score like 50 to fucking 60 points. And then he got hurt. That game hurt. And then last night's game. We miss you slightly. I don't have anywhere to turn when the Mavs make me close my laptop. Well, hopefully I should be good the rest of the season. And then playoffs, obviously. Playoffs, even if the Mavericks don't make it, if they do make it, regardless, we stream every night. So that'll be fun, streaming and watching all the games. I mean, it's going to be here before you know it, man. Playoffs in basketball just pop up. Luka's one away from a suspension, a tech. And I saw this floated around Twitter. It's actually a genius idea, right? Luka, if Luka's going to miss time with an injury, like if he's going to need some recovery time, start him in the next game immediately after tip-off. Have him walk up to the ref and be like, "Fuck you, bitch. You got to give me a tech. You got to give me a tech, bitch. Fuck you." Tech, boom. Right, he's out. Rest him the rest of the game. He's suspended the next game. Okay. Now we're ready to go. That needs to be what they do. God, the playoffs won't be the same if the Mavs aren't in it. You know, the Mavericks, the playoff streams 2 years ago when the Mavericks got eliminated in round 1 were actually a lot of fun. We did like Burger King taste tests. Yeah, but then he gets suspended for a game every tech after that. Every other tech. Every other tech. Is that My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy in your background? Yeah, it is. It should have been this way. It's been this way long before Kanye completely lost his fucking marbles. And I just haven't changed it. With Luka out, I think our transition game will spark and the Kyrie, Green, Hardy lineup will excel. Big winning. I don't know if I'll say big winning streak, but here, listen. Here's my prediction. They do win on Saturday against the Grizzlies. And the conversations are going to be a lot of fun. And by fun, I mean terrible. And by fun, I mean absolutely horrific. But that's what's going to happen. Like I'd be willing to bet the house on it. Imagine if Boyan. Yeah, the Mavericks are going to win that series no matter what. I never felt like the Mavericks were not going to win that series. So who you got, Draymond or Dylan Brooks in a 1v1? Like they're literally playing one-on-one basketball or in a fist fight. That video was wow. When was the last time we heard like a player?
I don't know what Draymond does out there. He said, I don't like Draymond at all. You don't know me. I just don't like Golden State. I quite frankly wouldn't like a team that beats me all the time either. I don't like anything to do with them. Quite frankly, you were a little kid in high school watching us win championships. Should be happy that you even witnessed that, or maybe college, but you get the point. You're a fan. Draymond talks a lot. You talk a lot now, so if you have 4 rings, sure, you talk a lot more. For All-Stars, you probably talk a bit more. Defensive Player of the Year, you for damn sure would talk more. 2 Olympic gold medals, you definitely would be talking because that would mean you beat Team USA, and we all know how that goes. So gets away with a lot too. What exactly do I get away with? I have 15 texts.
When have we ever seen like an active player go at another active player like this? Like not just trash talk on the basketball floor, but just like almost like an intervention. Like sitting him down, basically just being like, hey man, listen, you got to cut this out. Like just out of respect, I have to step in. Like you have to stop, man. It's getting out of control. This is like literally an intervention.
Less than your dumbass. Okay, great.
Wait, what?
His game is than your dumbass. What exactly do I get away with? I have 15 texts, 1 less than your dumbass. Okay, great. His game is.
Oh my God, that is actually hilarious. Draymond bragging about having 15 technicals as opposed to 16. That is fucking funny. I'm 100% here. Don't they play tonight? Don't they play tonight?
Cool. If you ever wondered why the Memphis Grizzlies is not ready to compete for a championship, look no further than this idiot right here. They're actually depending on this guy to help them win a championship. And he says his game is cool. Quite frankly, that just shows how little you know about basketball. And yet, you running around talking about a dynasty? The dynasty starts after you, not with you. He plays with.
That was a bar.
The dynasty starts after you, not with you.
The dynasty starts after you and not with you. Oh, wow. That is scathing. I mean, didn't they offer, weren't they the team that offered, what was it, 4 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges? Who do you think Mikal Bridges is replacing? Who do you think OG Anunoby would be replacing? Who's he talking about? He's talking about Dylan Brooks.
He plays with heart, knows the ins and outs of the defense. want to be quite frank, I made the ins and outs of our defense. I guess that's why they like him over there. I'm trying to figure out why they like you in Memphis. Or do they like you in Memphis? That's a better question. I'm not sure your teammates like you, but I can tell you why they like me over there. When you contribute in the way that I have contributed to 4 championships, they tend to like you. So next time you speak up on me, you should do some fact checking. Next time you speak up on me, you should do some soul searching. Next time you speak up on me, I hope you're in a better situation than you in now, where the guys you play with actually enjoy playing with you because they actually think you're contributing to winning.
Oh my God. That would.
Because it ain't happening right now, champ. You're not a champ. You're a clown. It ain't happening for you.
Oh my God. See, it's moments like those. I've actually thought that like Draymond probably not the TNT's obviously kind of positioning Draymond to sort of take over, or be one of the people taking over for the inside the NBA crew whenever they all retire. And I never really thought that he was going to be good at it. That was pretty scathing. Utah and the MLE. Oh God, no man. The Mavericks don't need to do that. What they need to do, what they actually need to do, is get a guy like Watanabe on the minimum. Like they need to hit on a minimum guy like Watanabe and have him be like a legit contributor. Utah's not even playing right now, is he? When's your next station like this? Tomorrow, and I'm going to have a legit. Yeah, Utah doesn't even play right now. I'm going to have a legit segment. I don't know what it's going to be yet. We'll figure something out. Coach Green, Matthew, new coach. Yeah, I like Mark Williams a lot too. I addressed the you being washed allegations. I'm a clean guy. I shower a lot. Admittedly, I used to love showering. When I had shorter hair, I would shower. Like, there'd be times where I showered 3 times a day. I just liked it. Just enjoyed it. But since the my hair's grown longer, showering does suck. It's like literally 4 times longer when you have long hair. I did get a haircut. Believe it or not, I got an inch cut from my hair. You guys believe that? Got an inch cut off of my hair. It looks a little bit shorter. Do you use Drano or a clothes hanger for the shower? Use one of these bad boys. And it gets gnarly. I mean, just imagine the shit that gets stuck onto it. Just gnarly. The problem with getting Utah and him in is how would we resign him if he actually became useful? Just got to do it. Take care, Slightly Biased. Hopefully next stream is about Kid being fired. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. One plus one team options. Yeah, that's what the Bucks did with Bobby. With Bobby POTUS. What are the teams? There was another team who did that recently with somebody. Wicked with the $2 donation. Sing creepin'. Oh God. I don't really know if I'm in the mood to sing, man. Like, I got to get into like a headspace, and if you're playing me, keep it on the low. Anyways, like I don't want to do that song any disrespect or disservice. Give my Kings a shout for no reason. Shout out to the Kings for no reason. All right, guys. I'll be live tomorrow, same time, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll have a segment or something. I'll figure it out. I'll have a segment. It'll be fun. It'll be a good stream. I'm supposed to have softball tonight, but there is some rain lingering in the forecast. There is some rain lingering in the forecast. I just had a thought pop up in my head. What do you guys do with your feet when you're laying down? I'm not gonna lie. I'm kicking. I'm like, if I'm laying on my stomach, my feet are in the air. If I'm laying on my back, right, I'm like playing with my toes. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hopefully I have softball tonight. My mood tomorrow will probably depend on that. All right. Love you guys. Goodbye.